Hi, those who have joined us already. Unfortunately, I can see that people are joining, but I can't actually see who has joined. So let me just see if I can change my view here. Yeah, okay, we'll just give it a couple of minutes for a few more people to join, and then we will kick things off. For those who, I know we've got quite a few people registered for the webinar today who are existing users of the platform, which is great. So always good to have you along, and a good chance to reconnect, ask questions. But we've also got quite a few people who are not currently users of the platform who have registered. So thank you for your interest. Just by way of introduction, my name is Nick. I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Kookaburra, and I'll be running today's webinar. If you are new to Kookaburra and you haven't seen a demonstration before, today will be a good opportunity to get a little bit of a glimpse to some parts of the platform and how they work. If after the webinar you are interested to have further conversation, please don't hesitate to reach out, and either myself or someone else in the team will organise a more complete demonstration of the platform. Okay, so today with these webinars, we do them roughly about every couple of months, and the intention here is that we typically dive deep into a new feature or function of the platform. So today what we're going to do is spend most of our time looking at the new meal pack builder. So for those of you who've used the platform for a little while now, you'd be familiar with meal packs and have been using them for some time. What we've done over the last couple of weeks or couple of months is to upgrade the way the meal packs work and to bring in some new features and functionality to that, which I'll show you today. If you are an existing user of the platform and you haven't been putting meal packs onto your menu, definitely worth giving it consideration. We certainly see meal packs being popular with customers of the businesses using the platform, often a great way to increase the average order size, and also a way to give your customers a little bit of value for putting more items into their basket, which I'll explain as I go through this. So without wasting any more time, actually, sorry, a couple of housekeeping things. We keep these webinars pretty close to 45 minutes. So we should be done by 11:45. If there's questions, sometimes we go a little bit longer, but if you need to go, please just feel free to jump off when you need to. We are recording this, and for those that have registered but don't manage to actually get to the meeting, we will share the link to all those who registered and to all businesses that are using the platform either later today or tomorrow. And then Harry is monitoring the chat. So if you've got questions, please drop them into the chat. Harry's then going to fling them to me through Slack. So I'll do my best to keep an eye on the questions as well as doing the demo at the same time. If you do have a question and we don't get to it, apologies in advance, but we will definitely look at the chat afterwards, and we will follow up on any questions and share the answers to those questions with the full group. So let me jump in. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to start to take you through the new meal pack builder. Okay, I am trusting that everyone can see my screen now. Looks like you can. Where I'm actually going to start, so for those of you who are familiar with Kookaburra, this is obviously the cook side or the business side. I'm actually just going to switch over, and I'm going to start on a menu. This is a menu that I've built, and I'm going to just go through the different types of meal packs that you can have on your menu. So As per previously, there's what we call fixed meal packs. Fixed meal pack is when you, as the business, telling your customer exactly what is in a meal pack. So there's no choice, but what it is, it's typically a bundle of meals. So this first one here, family favorite meals, I'll click into that. And you'll see here that this is a meal pack that comes with all of the items that are listed in here. So, you know, nothing too complicated about that. And I'll show you how we build one of those shortly. But the idea here is it might be 10 meals that might otherwise cost, or 5 meals that might, you know, typically cost $100. You might be saying, hey, buy these 5 meals in this meal pack or in this bundle, and you're charging your customers $90. So that is no different to what we've been doing previously with a fixed meal pack. Similarly, you've got a back to school pack here, same thing, where it's 4 items that go into the pack. The benefit there is that you're getting your customer to put a high price item into their basket, and the benefit for the customer is that you're probably going to be giving them a little bit of a discount on the cost of those items if they were to purchase them individually. Then what we've got is what we call a custom pack. So you'll see here 5 meals for 2. How this differs from a fixed pack is you're actually giving your customers the choice. So what you'll see here is in this pack, it's 5 meals for 2. You can see it's got 0, 5, and you're asking your customers to choose 5 items to put to their basket. So I think there's 10 meals here, and they could choose 5 of one of each of 5 different meals. They could choose 3 of one, 2 of another, 4 of one, 1 of another, any combination they want until they get to the 5 meals. So again, that's what we are accustomed to seeing with a custom meal pack, where you're giving your customer the choice. Now, and then here's another one, which is same thing again. This time it's 10 meals for 2. So these are all, as you'll notice here, these are all, and I'll spend a little bit more time on this when we're looking at how to build a meal pack. You'll notice here that these are all the smalls. So it's the small lasagna serves 2. It's the chicken and leek pie, it serves 2. So when you're building your meal pack, you want to be very careful that you're choosing and adding the right meals to it. For example, I wouldn't want to be putting in a family-sized lamb korma pie into my meal pack that is 10 meals for 2. So it does need some attention to detail, which we'll go through shortly. Then one of the new components of a meal pack is what we're calling sections. So rather than, if we just go back to this family meal pack here, rather than just having a long list of items, because what you'll see here is we've got a couple of soups, we had a couple of mains, and then down here we've got a couple of desserts, and then we've got I guess you call it a condiment. So rather than just sort of having a long list of items in a meal pack, you're now actually able to organize them into sections. So when I click on family favorites, you'll see here that this is essentially the same meal pack as the family favorite meals. I've just organized it better and presenting it in an easier way for your customers to get a sense for what they're getting. So in this case, it's a fixed meal pack. The customer's getting soups. There's 2 of them. They're getting 2 mains, and they're getting 2 desserts, and they're also getting some spinach and almond pesto. So this is just a nicer way to organize and visually present your fixed meal pack. And then similarly here, we've got a custom meal pack, again, using the section. So in this instance, what we're saying is there's a section of soups, and we're telling the customers that they can choose 2 of these 4 options here. So again, they could choose 2 of one or 1 of 2 different options. Likewise, with mains, we're giving them 4 choices. We're asking them to select 2 of the mains to build their pack. And then in desserts, we've got a selection of desserts. And again, we're asking them to choose 2 items. So again, just a better way to present your meal packs. And the point here is, and you'll see this when we look at the customer side, the cost to you or the cost to your customer of soups versus mains versus desserts is going to be different. So not only does it help you organize a meal pack by, I guess, the types of items, soups, mains, and desserts, it's also going to help you with the pricing and determining what to charge your customers for that meal pack. So that is, and I think let's have a look at baby, it's cold outside. That is, yeah, similarly, again, in this instance, you get a soup, there is no choice. So this is a meal pack that's got a combination of custom and fixed. In this instance, the soup is fixed. Everyone gets the pea and ham soup with Tuscan beans. In the mains, everyone gets to choose one of the mains and one of the desserts. And again, the condiment down here is part of the pack. So there you have it. Just a quick little recap. You've got your fixed meal packs as per normal. You've got your custom meal packs where you're giving your customers the choice. You've got the ability to organize into sections as a fixed meal pack. You've got the ability to have a custom meal pack in sections. And you've got the ability to have a combination of fixed and custom with sections. So I'm going to jump over to the dashboard and we'll go in and we'll have a look at how these meal packs have been built. So for those who are new to the Kookaburra, this is what we call the navigation panel over here on the left. I'm clicking into meal packs. And you'll see here are all of the meal packs that I've created previously. What we will do, I'm going to go into the family. Actually, I'll go into, let's actually build one together. We'll go into the weekly survival bundle pack. So I started building this as an example. I've given it a name as per usual up here. I've given it a brief description, and you'll see here that I've said, build your own bundle of soups, meals, and desserts to get you through the week. Included in every pack is a gift of Inglewood 250-gram coffee and 2 packs of David's dumplings. So I'm going to show you how we create this pack. So down here, you'll see here just in the meal pack builder section, there is a quick explanation. So fixed, set the exact items and quantity of each item. Custom, include all the items you want as options, and then tell your customers the number of choices that they've got. So all of your recipes are over here on the left-hand side, and then as you build the meal pack, they'll appear on the right. So I'm going to start by using my filter tool. I'm going to look for a section of soups. I'm going to apply, and now here are my soups, and I'm going to click and drag and bring them across. And you'll see here, so it's one of each of the soups has been put into this pack, and it's showing here that it's the 600 ml option of each one. Remember before when I showed and I referenced the lamb korma pie, you want to make sure that you're putting the right size options into the meal pack. So I'm going to go over the 1200s. At the moment, this is fixed, which means all of these items would be in the meal pack and the customers wouldn't have a choice. I want to give my customers a choice. So I'm going to call this custom, and let's say that they have a choice of 2 soups. And I'll just scroll down. I'm going to add a section. You'll see down here in the bottom right-hand corner, add meal pack section. Click add. Back up here. I'm going to change that to soups. Now I'm going to create a new section. I'm going to call this mains. And then over here, I'll filter for the mains. And I will add my lasagna, meatballs, cottage pie, chicken and leek pie, and we'll do the vegetarian lasagna. So again, you'll see here that they're all pulling through in the smallest size that they are available in. I want to make this a large pack. So you'll see here, I'm changing the options, making sure that I've got consistent sizes in the meal pack. And you'll see just to the right of this, it's adjusting the price. So it's letting me know what I'm charging if I was selling these items individually. And I'll talk about how the system's calculating costs in a moment. Again, let's give our customers the choice free here. I'll add another section. I'll move along and keep things moving. You'll get the hang of it. Call it desserts. Back over here. Let's find, I think I used the word sweets. apply that filter. I'll put the, let's see, what do I do? Hot apple pie. And we'll do the magnificent lemon tart. And we'll do the half tart. And we'll do the large hot apple pie. And we'll say it's a choice of one. And then remembering that this pack also has the coffee. So I'll create a coffee section. And this is fixed. There's no choice here. So I'll go fixed over here. Choose the coffee. I think we said it was a 250 grams. So it's this one here. I'll bring it down. And I also, and you'll see here that what you're doing is you're using set choices, telling the customer that they can choose 2 soups, 3 mains, 1 of the desserts, and then this is fixed. So they get this as part of the pack. They don't have to make a choice here. I also mentioned that this pack gets 2 lots of dumplings, but just in the spirit of not taking too long to build this, I'll leave the dumplings out. Now, what's happened down here is you'll see that this, I had put this price in earlier. So when you first come in, it'll be 0 price there. What's happened here is the system is estimating the price. And the way it's estimating the price is it's going 2 soups here based on the price of these soups would be $48. 3 mains would be $120 based on the $40 per meal. A large, 1 dessert would be $25, and then the coffee is $12. So what it's done, it's added the 12 plus 25 plus 140 for 3 of the mains, plus 48 for 2 of the soups. And that's how it's getting to $205. So that's the estimated price if a customer was to purchase items individually. And then what you can do is decide that you're going to say, well, look, I'm not going to charge my customers $205. One of the benefits of buying a meal pack or a bundle is they'll get a slight discount. So I might be going, let's call it $185. So roughly 10% off. And then I am saving that meal pack. If we then go over to the menu, let's have a look. This was the menu we were looking at before. I'm going to look for that meal pack, which I think was, what do I call it? Here it is, weekly survival bundle. I'm going to add it. There it is. I want it to be the last one. So I'll drag it down and I'll save that menu. And then if we come back over here where we were before, I'll just refresh my page. And you'll see here that the weekly survival bundle pack is now on display for $185. And there we go again, the choice of the soups, the mains, the desserts, and there's the coffee. So very, very simple, easy way to build packs. And one of the advantages of having the sections and the prices is you might have, you might be doing a meal pack that's got a section that's got some items on it that cost you, and you would normally charge your customers $10. You might have other items that are single serves that you charge a little more for, and they might be $13. So you're able to also not just organise your meal pack by sections based on soups, mains and desserts, etc. But you could also be doing it based on meals and the cost of those meals to you, so that you're apportioning and making sure that you maintain the margins in your meal packs. Other thing is you don't need to call them meal packs as well. So you can show them as meal packs, you could call them bundles. You can see down here that they've also, this feature works well for doing hampers. So you might be doing a hamper around key moments. And again, in this example, it's a fixed hamper. So you're getting donuts, apple pie, some pastry and a lemon tart. But again, you could be doing this as a fixed and a custom meal pack. So that is the new meal pack building feature. Really strongly encourage you to give it a try and to put some meal packs, bundles, hampers onto your menus. As I said at the start, they are proving to be very popular with customers who are looking for not just 1 or 2 items, but 5 meal pack, 10 meal packs, etc. The other thing, whilst we're on meal packs, I do want to show an example of FairFeed. So they're one of the businesses that uses the platform, and I like the way they have taken an image and put a graphic over the image. Just makes it a stronger visual, calls your attention to it, lets you know exactly what you're getting: a vegan pack, a comfort pack, new mum pack. So again, a little bit of thought around how you present and title and name your packs, and then putting it into over the images is a nice way to make those sections pop on your menus. Okay, so that is it on meal packs. I'm just going to have a quick check and see if there were any questions coming through. Let's have a look. I think we've got a couple. So Galit has asked the question, how does it calculate if the price of the mains, for example, are different? It'll do an average. So it'll work out the average cost. So if you're putting mains into a section, some of them might be $44, some of them might be $45, maybe something's $50. It'll do that as an average. That also goes back to what I was saying before. You might have different sections of your meal pack, and you're putting a group of options in one section that are close in price to each other, and another group of options into another section of the meal pack that have a different set of prices. And that way you're able to manage and make sure that a customer's not buying all of the items that you have your lowest margin on, but there's a nice mix and spread of items as you go. A question from Nikki Nolan just saying, I don't seem to have options to add sections. I should have mentioned up front, I am working on what is called our staging environment at the moment. This has not gone live. It'll go live this afternoon after today's webinar. So later on this afternoon, the new functionality will be on display when you log into your account. Okay, now how are we going for time? It's 11:25. I've got a few other things I want to go through. These are things that some of you will be familiar with. For others, you might be seeing things for the first time. So I will just tidy up my screen here. Couple of things worthy of mention. We have got, one of the things that we have been looking to implement is what we call a bulk edit feature. And this is a feature that will appear across different parts of the platform. People who are using it are already very familiar with the need for it. So what this is, you'll see here, it already appears on the meal packs. It's where you can go through and you can select items, and then you can delete a group of items. This will also appear in areas such as your delivery zones, where you'd be able to go in and not only delete, but you'd also be able to edit. So if you needed to change the delivery fees on a group of suburbs in a zone, you don't have to do that one by one. You'll be able to do things like bulk edit. So that is a small thing, but it will be a significant time saver. That is coming shortly. The other thing I wanted to highlight is, regardless of the size of your business, so whether you're a business that's doing 10, 11 or 12 orders a week, or whether you're a business that's doing 400 to 500 orders a week, we think and we urge you to try the Routific integration. So what this is, in your settings, you turn it on, and what it enables is that at the end of a menu, you are able to export all of the delivery orders on that menu. It will bring them across into your routing, and through an app on your phone, you will be able to manage your delivery route in the most efficient way at that point in time in the day. So you'll see here, I'm looking at a business that's based down in Hobart. They had 12 orders. It mapped them in sequence. It did a timestamp. And it showed the business owner how to get from one to the other on their mobile phone. The other part of this is you're able to set up notifications. So in this instance, you'll see here this business had notifications sent out saying that they're out for delivery, and then also one turned on for customers who receive a notification after delivery. When you're using Kookaburra, you get this as part of the package. You also get the premium level, which just means that you are able to do things like customize this message. So rather than your customers getting a generic message, you can go in there. In this case, the business is Home Harvest, and Anne is the owner of that business. So she's able to customize that message. The feedback we get from businesses that are using this is that it is a game changer for them. So the fact that they're not having to sit down and work out their delivery route before they head out on the road, the fact that their customers are getting notifications prior to delivery and at the after delivery has just been a great, I guess, sort of customer service and, as I said, significant time saver. So if you are doing deliveries and you're not using Routific integration, put your hand up, let us know, and we will get you set up, because no one has not said it's one of their favourite features when they're using it. Okay, something else I want to show you is for those businesses that are registered for GST, you hopefully are well aware of when GST applies and when GST doesn't apply. We have had countless situations where we've been talking to business owners using the platform, and they have been paying tax GST to the ATO, so the Australian Tax Office, unnecessarily. So I would caution here, we're not tax experts, but we have done our research, and we do have some good knowledge around when and where meals or items on a menu should have GST apply. I'm going to use an example here. I'm in recipes. I'm going to my Italian meatballs, and in every recipe section, right down the bottom, there is this little box, tick GST required on this meal. So if you are a business that's registered for GST, you are able to, at a recipe by recipe level, nominate whether GST applies to the item. In a case like meatballs, I would say that meatballs is not a complete meal. It is only a complete meal when it is combined with spaghetti or with pasta. So in this case, I'm selling my meatballs and GST is not required. We provide, you'll see here that there is a little link. This goes through to a blog post that we have written. And then within that, within this blog post, you can then click through to a tool, and this is now actually taking you outside of Kookaburra, and you're going into the Australian Tax Office. And quite simply, what you can do here is do things like, I will go curry, and you'll see here curry without rice, as an example, GST free. So there's an example. If I'm selling curry, if I'm selling a butter chicken and I'm selling it with rice, I would be having to pay the GST on that. If I'm selling the butter chicken without rice, then I've got a good reason to claim that it is a GST-free item. Likewise, things like, if I go up here, bolognese sauce will be the same thing. Really important that you have a good understanding of that. Please feel free to reach out if you want some guidance. Again, we're not tax advisors, but we're certainly happy to talk to your accountants or your finance managers and sort of step through what we know. You're also able to get rulings from the ATO if you want specific guidance from them as to what can and can't be deemed GST free. Just on that also, I'm going to jump back to the FairFeed menu and use them as a great example. What they have done with the knowledge around where GST is applicable and not applicable, they've actually put a section on their menu over here, which you'll see it's 1 kilogram sauce packs. They're selling, and these sell very, very well. They're very popular. They're selling 1 kilo, it could be, you could make it 500 grams, whatever you want, but they're selling these sauce packs with the knowledge that they don't have to pay GST on it because they are not complete meals. They're only complete meals when you add the pasta, add the rice, etc. So worthy of giving some thought to how you can construct your menu in a way to minimise the legitimately minimise the amount of GST that you need to be paying. Okay, I've got about 10 minutes, so let me just run through a couple of other things that I'd like to show you. Sticking with this recipe here of the Italian meatballs, a couple of things I want to show you is that we have moved the customer instructions. So this is a new section that now appears on the recipe. It used to be that you would add the customer instructions at the label. So over here on the left, we've now brought this into the recipe. The idea is that the recipe is going to be what we call the, I guess, the source of truth for every bit of information about a meal that's on your menu. So anything or anytime you want to change the way a meal presents on a menu, or if you want to change how your labels look, it all comes back to the data that you enter into the recipe. So here I can add the instructions, remove lid, preheat. I could talk about what it goes well with, such as a salad, glass of wine, etc. And that will then flow through to the customer display on their menu, and it'll also come through and be on display in the labels as well. So you don't need to do that at the labels. Almost done. I will show you how when you add a customer notes, how the new display on your menus are going to look to your customers. So you'll see here, again, I'll just minimize a couple of screens so we're not looking too crowded. This is a mock-up of something that will go live later this week. We're mindful that on a customer display, we want it to look as clean as possible. And with the inclusion of dietary icons, allergens, and then lists of ingredients, preparation notes, and nutrition information, it can start to get very long. So what we've done is it's called an accordion, and you'll see here that customers will be able to click on this little arrow to display the information. So let's have a look. I'll bring this one up here. So this first one is with everything closed. And let me bring up one more. This is with the ingredients expanded, and over here on the far right is where we've got ingredients, preparation notes, and also the nutrition information on display. So again, we're giving your customers quite a comprehensive amount of information. Some people will go no further than this first one, and they will just click add to basket. Others are going to want to look at what those ingredients are, or they're going to want to know what the preparation notes are, or they're going to want to know what the nutrition information is. Now, with regards to the nutrition information, important, I should have flagged this before, important to note that the nutrition information will only display when you tick this box. So if you have put your recipe in correctly in terms of the ingredients and in terms of the quantity and metrics, and you've also identified the yield, that allows Kookaburra to calculate accurately a nutrition panel. So if you've done that, you simply tick this box, display, and it will always ask you to confirm, because it's really important. If you're going to show nutrition information to your customers, you've got to make sure that the information that you're presenting to them is accurate. So this is a pop-up that's just going to, each time you do it, ask you to double check and ensure that you've got all the ingredients in, that you've got the quantities in, and that you've also done the yield correctly. And then you confirm, and then that will then display to your customers on your menu. Okay, what else? Let me share a couple of things that are coming up. So first of all, the accordion display that I showed you will go live later this week. The bulk edit is a feature that will roll out across different areas of the platform in coming weeks. The dev team are now working on a few things. One of those things that they are working on is a new orders page. So again, for those of you who have been on Kookaburra for a little while, you know that the orders page section, it works, but it could be so much better. So you'll see here, this is a mock-up. So Cam, who is our UX designer, and has been working on this. He spent considerable time talking to different business owners. So this is what the orders page is going to look like, or a version of this. It's a little bit blurry, so apologies for that. A couple of things, or a few things to note on this is, again, you'll have the bulk edit feature here. You will be able to click in on the order number and go to an expanded view of that order and see all the information there. Also, you'll see here this second customer down, or this second order down from Jerome Bell. The system is going to flag for you when a customer has made their first order. So you, at a glance, you're going to be able to see where you've got first-time customers. And why that can be an important thing is you might want to put a little thank you note into their order, thanking them for being a customer, and maybe even giving them a coupon code for a second order as a way to recognise them. This feature here of first order, that is going to roll out, so you'll have the ability to set your own, we call them flags. So in addition to first order, you'll be able to ask the system to flag to you other behaviours. So for example, you might ask the system to flag customers that have just placed their 10th order or their 20th order. So there'll be different variables that you'll be able to do. And once you've set those, they will be identified by an icon here. You'll also be able to filter. So you'll be able to filter by order status, whether it's pickup, delivery. You'll be able to look at different payment types. Also, if a promotion or a coupon has been applied, you'll be able to see that that has been applied. So again, if you've just done a new promotion and you want to see how well it's performed, you're going to be able to go in and use filters and see all the orders that have had that promotional coupon applied to them. There's a whole lot more to this as well that we will share with you when the time is right. I was really just wanting to give you a little glimpse of what's to come in the coming weeks and months. And very last thing from me is again, for many of you that are on the platform, you're already aware that you are able to service people that are on the NDIS or people that have a home care pack. I think everyone's familiar with NDIS, being National Disability Insurance Scheme. Home care pack is a similar program, government funding for elderly Australians to help them live independent lives for longer. So keeping them at home, and they will have I guess, an allowance, and they are able to use that allowance for different things, of which purchasing meals is one of those things. So through Kookaburra, they are able to purchase meals from the businesses using the platform, and they are able to only pay 30% at the point of purchase when they're ordering meals from your menu. The other 70% is instantly or immediately invoiced to their plan manager. There's a number of businesses that have been using this for quite some time. We're working closely with a few of them at the moment, and we're working with plan managers. Plan managers are the people that are responsible for the participants. Sometimes a plan manager might be managing 10 participants. Sometimes they might be managing 400 or 500. We are working closely with a few of these plan managers and a few of the businesses on Kookaburra to get those participants onboarded and able to order. We're really, really excited on two fronts. One, it's going to be great for your business because these people that are on these programs, they are typically ordering every week, and they're ordering multiple meals. So they're high value, loyal customers, which is great for you. And the other thing is that these people who are on these programs at the moment have a very, very poor choice of meal options. So the quality of meals that they're able to currently access is not of a great standard. So it's often mass-produced food, it's low in nutrients, it's not really made with love at all. So on the flip side, good for your business, but also great for the customers. So if you are already doing it and you want to understand how you can grow that area of your business, or if you're not doing it and you want to know a little bit more about it, please reach out, send an email to myself, so Nick at Kookaburra, or to Lyndon, so Lyndon at Kookaburra, and just sort of register your interest with us, because we're doing quite a bit of work in this space, both on platform, just to make things work a little smoother, as well as off platform with some plan managers, and really looking to sort of scale this area of the business. That is everything that I've got for you today. That's a lot of talking. I will just have a look and see whether there's any other questions. Harry, can you just give me a thumbs up on Slack as to whether or not there's any other questions I should be responding to? No more questions. Excellent. Okay, well, with that, thank you for joining. I know we sort of move fast through these. webinars, and we often cover a lot of ground, and sometimes it's hard to follow as I'm moving through things quite quickly. But as I said up front, we've recorded it. We'll send a link out, and you will get you'll get that link later today. So yeah, really, actually, maybe hang on a tick. We might have. Do we have a question? No, we don't. Sorry, apologies. I thought there was a question. All righty. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate everyone joining today. If there are any questions following the session, just send them in an email and we'll get back to you with an answer. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.